half, it was not broken. Months later, the other half that remained intact started to bear fruits again. That is the power of resiliency. My sister and I not giving up on our dream to become gardeners, and the papaya tree, which broke but was not broken. Resiliency is the ability to rise up back again, no matter how many times you fall. No matter how harsh life can treat you, resilience helps you see the positive side of things. From an early age, we learn in school that the letter F is not a good grade. However, resiliency consists of the following 3 F's: flexibility, forgiveness, and faith. Resiliency is flexibility. Recall the difference between an oak tree firm in its ways versus a willow tree willing to bend with the wind to survive. Resiliency is not about giving up one's values, but rather learning to adapt to changes in your environment. You know why we first failed in our garden? We chose seeds from plants which were not really meant for our tropical climate. We wanted to harvest apples and grapes instead of papayas and peppers. Once we learned to adapt to our environment, we finally achieved success. Resiliency is forgiveness. Although we are taught to forgive others, we are not taught to forgive ourselves. In the beginning of our gardening adventure, we failed because we looked at social media posts of perfect gardens. We achieved success when we watched YouTubers who first failed and taught us how to handle those slimy snails. If we did not forgive ourselves for allowing certain plants to wilt and die, then that would have been the end of our journey. Lastly, resiliency is faith. It is the faith in ourselves and in a higher power. The process to cope with hardships is resiliency. Although we are at the tail end of the pandemic, I am proud to say that our garden is still around and thriving. Many plants sacrificed their lives throughout the journey. My sister and I have learned, nonetheless, that in the end, we must trust that there will always be some sort of blossom. Flexibility, forgiveness, and faith, the 3 F's of resiliency. My sister and I never gave up on our journey to become gardeners because just like our papaya tree, even in the times that we break, we are never, ever broken. That is the power of resiliency. Thank you.
That was wonderful. I really love that. It gave me goosebumps. Now, we have our next contestant, Anela Payumo. If you can take the stage. Am I pronouncing your name right? Are we ready to start, judges? Okay, you may begin.
I guarantee that 70% of you here do not know what real resiliency is. Resilience is important for us to have in order to overcome and persevere through hardships. Real resiliency is going through something and finishing it as a better version of yourself. If you did not already know, in the past, women were considered insignificant. Back then, it was a patriarchal society, and women were discriminated against. excluded from decision-making and other activities. Today, I want to talk about three women who represent resilience through their individual stories, accomplishments, and contributions to today's society. Resilience shows through people like Michelle Obama. In 2015, Mrs. Obama once said, "Failure is an important part of your growth and developing resilience. Do not be afraid to fail." Throughout her life and period of service to our nation, one of the biggest struggles she dealt with was racism. If she hadn't kept advocating for people through social media, her speeches, her books, despite the media's negative comments, issues regarding depression and other mental health struggles would not be normalized. Standing up in front of the world, moreover being a colored woman and talking about something that many people label as weak or insignificant is not easy. Her resilience and persistence for a more inclusive society has influenced many people and increased the awareness and advocacy of others. Resilience, like Michelle's, isn't only present in places miles away from us, but it is and has been represented through people from Guam like Agueda I. Johnston. She had a huge contribution to the preservation of the Chamorro culture. During the war, she passed on information to the Chamorro people through secret radios and bars of soap. Through her journey, she was beaten and whipped by the Japanese colonizers due to her revolts. Despite the consequences, she got up and kept going. Because of her efforts in preserving the Chamorro culture and language back then, we are still able to pass it down to our youth and generations to come. In fact, it has become a law in which the Chamorro language and culture is taught for a minimum of 1 year in public schools. My school had the privilege of celebrating Mes Chamorro, and we had presentations from different organizations, phrases of the week to learn, and even a Gupit Chamorro festival to help honor and preserve the indigenous language and culture of the Chamorros. In the long run, these tiny efforts make a big impact, just like Johnston's. The last person out of the many whom I see resilience in is myself. I am a runner, and it feels very weird for me to say that because just a few months ago, I hated running with a passion. Spontaneously, I joined cross country at the beginning of the school year, and I could not run a mile without stopping. Now, after going through multiple sports, I have come to realize that I have improved so much. Many would say that running is all about stamina and endurance, but it's all about mindset. Resiliency was going to practice every day no matter how tired I was, waking up at 5 a.m. to run hills at Tumon, and continuing to show up regardless of how displeased I was of my performance in the previous race. Resilience comes from discomfort, and by staying in your comfort zone and being afraid to make mistakes, you won't grow because you don't learn. During races, regardless of how tired I was, I pushed myself to keep running. No matter how slow I was going or how small my strides were, for as long as I didn't stop, I would eventually reach my finish line. Resiliency is like that. You have to push yourself to keep going, no matter how tired you are and how many people are ahead of you. Keep taking those small steps every day because you will eventually reach your finish line. And I too want to achieve something in the future. These women and our current female leaders like Vice President Kamala Harris, Governor Lilian Guerrero, Senator Amanda Lee Shelton, and many others are continuing to pave the way for women, our rights, and our place in society through their contributions. These problems did not fix themselves overnight. These women allowed more time to get things done. Resiliency requires patience. It requires us to break out of the standards and patterns that society has set for us. Resiliency is present in everybody. You do not have to be known across the island to know that you have resilience. You just have to know how to unleash it. Thank you.
Great job, Anela. Now, the next contestant, Anna Rice, you may take the stage.
When we exercise our muscles, we create microscopic tears in the muscle fibers. These tears may cause tenderness and discomfort in the short term, but they are vital parts of the process when we are building muscles. As our bodies heal these tears, our muscles regrow and become much stronger than before. Life presents us with challenges and hurdles. However, just like our muscles, as they heal after being damaged, we too can become more physically, mentally, and emotionally equipped as we overcome difficult times. I take grief as a great example. My father passed away when I was 10 years old. As a result, my mother and I were left with only each other, missing the true head of our family and with limited resources. I was a young girl who was unsure of how to react to such a loss. But I recalled the promise that I made to him, to always do my best as a child, not only at home, but also in school. While I did mourn his passing, I never permitted my responsibilities as a student to falter. I was motivated to do my best as I wanted to fulfill the last promise that I made to him. Even with a heavy heart, I was able to finish the school year with excellence. And from then on, I believe that I have established the power of resiliency. Resiliency can be exemplified as the process and the outcome of successfully conforming to challenging life experiences. But we must remember that resiliency is not a fixed trait that we can instantly possess. It is rather a set of behaviors, thoughts, and actions that can be acquired through practice and learning. By building resilient skills, individuals become better endowed to cope with adversities, recover from setbacks, and thrive in the face of hardship. But now, what are the ways in which we can accomplish this? First, we must accept each situation and embrace change. Life is full of perplexities, and the more we learn to adapt to change, the stronger we become. By acknowledging the challenges and difficulties we face and focusing on what we can do to move forward, we develop this very skill and mindset that we need to overcome adversities and emerge much more powerful on the other side. Second, we must find purpose and meaning. Having a sense of purpose can help us remain focused and motivated, even during the toughest times. Third, we must find a strong support system. Many see it hard to find help from others, but resiliency does not mean doing it alone. We must find people who will extend love and support, who will inspire us. This will lead us to grow even stronger. And finally, we must create a growth mindset. Building resiliency means having hope despite our given circumstances. This means staying optimistic and positive, even when faced with the most difficult challenges. It's important to focus on the things we can control and to take action to improve our situation. Having this growth mindset also means learning from our experiences and using them to grow and develop as our persons. Being resilient is not the absence of hardship, but it is the ability to move forward despite it. I am grateful that I have been able to build the power of resiliency. With time, I have built courage when facing life's challenges. Now, I challenge you and everyone in this room to accept reality, find your purpose, and together with your friends and family, be resilient when facing life's challenges, because this is the true power of resiliency. Thank you.
Viva Resiliency! Now, for our last and final contestant, Michaela Ramos, you may take the stage.
If you were born with the weakness to fall, you were born with the strength to rise. This is a quote from the book Milk and Honey, written by my favorite poet, Rupi Kaur. A rubber band, a simple representation of resilience, was made not only with the weakness to be stretched, but also with the strength to return to its unbothered form. I have rubber bands on my teeth. By that, I mean I have braces. And a couple of weeks ago, I went to my orthodontic appointment, expecting a regular wire adjustment, only to feel more bands across the wires. A few minutes later, I clenched my teeth to smile, but instead, I almost cried. For the next 5 days, I could only eat noodles and mashed potatoes. I could only sleep well for 4 hours until the pain would wake me up. However, after those 5 days, I was smiling without the aching tears. My teeth were in their best condition yet. Like a rubber band after being stretched, I was no longer held back by the pain. I adapted to it. If only it just took 5 days to adapt to any type of adversity. If only it took 5 days to take away anxiety, to forget trauma, to let go of a loved one who has gone away. If only we could just wait 5 days for our hearts to be repaired. If only. But we don't have to count the days until obstacles are gone. We do not have to rely on the fact that pain is prolonged. All we have to do is hold on to courage, perseverance, and love. For those virtues together build the power that is resilience. The power within us doesn't automatically take away difficulties, but embraces us through the pain, regardless of how long it takes. It is in our hearts, ready to guide us with the 3 virtues. Courage. Courage allows us to come face to face with difficulties. Courage helps us look fear, pain, and destruction straight in the eye and say, I will not let you destroy me. It prepares us for the best and the worst. It does not guarantee that we won't be hurt, but promises steadfastness. Courage promises that we will remain strong in the midst of our weaknesses. Perseverance holds our hands through the difficulties and guides us until the end. It cheers us on. Keep going. Don't give up. Don't give in to the voices of adversity. Perseverance reminds us that challenges will come and eventually go, and that once they leave, we will find peace as a result of resilience. We will find love. Love is the reason why we keep going, why we strive to keep growing, why we're able to stay standing, and why we are resilient. I have settled challenges in friendships because I love my friends. I'm willing to overcome the largest disagreements. I have grown through life lectures because I love my family. I want to be better for them, for others, and for myself. I have stood through difficult math competitions and art contests because I love math and creating art. I am standing here today because I love to write and I love to speak. My family is here because they love me. They are supporting me. I'm sure most of us, if not all, have gone through many difficult challenges in life. Yet, we have overcome them because we looked forward to the things we love. We were motivated by that love to stay strong and to stay resilient. As a Catholic, especially, that love for me was, is, and forever will be God. I keep going, growing, standing, and staying resilient because of God, who is love. I go to Him when I need the courage to face my fears, the perseverance to keep going through countless challenges, and the love to look forward to. He loves me, and that is why I am supported, strong, and resilient. Looking back to when I was a little kid, I cried at every single misfortune. When I entered middle school, I was challenged by almost every person. I learned more lessons. I was taught to be stronger, and I still am growing stronger. Now, as I am going on to high school, I have gained a new power, the power of resiliency. Resilience is to be nurtured, carried, and shared. I call on every single one of you to find that resilience, the courage, perseverance, and love in your hearts, to look forward to that love, to carry that with you every time you are faced with adversity, to share resilience with those who need help finding it. Be their courage, be their perseverance, Be the love that they can look forward to. Show them that pain is not the end. Hold their hands through their challenges. Embrace them with your resilience until they recover and find their own because of you. We must recover from our burdens and help others do the same. We must take our burdens and grow stronger, grow with resilience. As Rupi Kaur also wrote, the world gives you so much pain, and here you are making gold out of it. There is nothing purer than that.
That was amazing, Michaela. I would also like to recognize the Honorable Senator Thomas Fisher in the back. He has joined us. We will now take a brief intermission while the scores are tallied. While they tabulate and verify the scores, we would like to present the governor's certificates to the presenters and alternates. I would like to call up to the front Director of DYA, Mrs. Melanie Brennan, and the Deputy Director, Mr. Michael Weekly.
Thank you, Rachel. Don't go anywhere. I'm just going to help with this part. Okay. Director, if you want to come up to the front, and if we can have the governor join us, the lieutenant governor. Senator Kanata. Senator Shelton. And Senator Fisher. Please join us up in the front. The certificates will be presented to our contestants to include as well the alternates. As I call your name, please step forward to receive your certificate. Representing St. Francis Catholic School, Cecilia Camacho and Elijah Jace Blas. Thank you, guys. Representing Ocean View Middle School, Justin Agagi and Micahs Babauta. Representing Ocean View Middle School, Justin Agagi. Thank you, Justin. Representing Agata Johnston Middle School, Joey Camille Umpinko and Aiden George. From Agata Johnston, Joey Camille Umpinko and Aiden George. Thank you, guys. Representing Bishop Baumgartner Memorial Catholic School, Zeta Camacho. Bishop Baumgartner Middle School, Zeta Camacho. Thank you, Zeta. From Astumbo Middle School, Anela Payumo. St. Anthony School, Astumbo Middle School, Anela Payumo. Representing St. Anthony Catholic School, Anna G. Rice and Ellis B.T. Sato. St. Anthony Catholic School, Anna G. Rice. And finally, from Santa Barbara Catholic School, Michaela Bless B. Ramos. Okay, from Santa Barbara, Michaela Ramos. Thank you, judges. Thank you, Governor. Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. Senators, thank you.
The results are in, everyone, and now we can announce the runner-up and the winner of tonight's contest. So can I get a drum roll, please? The runner-up for the 2023 Youth Month Oratorical Contest for the Middle School Division is Anna Rice. Now for the winner. The winner of 2023's Youth Month's Oratorical Contest and the next Youth Lieutenant Governor of Guam is Zeta Camacho. Congratulations, ladies. Parents, this is your time for a photo op. Just an announcement, if your school hasn't signed up for the Island Leadership Day, we have applications available. And to get one, please see Ms. Danielle Camacho. Ms. Camacho, please raise your hand so people know who you are. Thank you. Can all the participants come up for a group photo? And the alternates too.
Good job, everybody.
This concludes the oratorical contest, and we want to thank the following: the Office of the Governor of Guam, Speaker and members of the 37th Guam Legislature, the Guam Youth Congress, the Governor's Youth Advisory Council, Mr. Joseph San Augustine, Executive Director, AV, and Facility Management Team of the Guam Congress Building, the Office of Senator Amanda Shelton, the Guam Coalition Against Sexual Assault and Family Violence contestants and alternates, our judges, parents, teachers, administrators, students, and supporters. Congratulations to all the winners and participants.